Was Napoleon Bonaparte able to become one of the enlightened? Did he exit his physical form and lead history in a new direction because of his night in the Great Pyramid of Giza? Let's find out together in the new episode of Minds of Eternity. In part 1, I described Napoleon's intentions and his strange experiences and the events leading up to his night in the Great Pyramid, where figures such as Jesus and Count Saint-Germain and King Solomon are also said to have sought enlightenment. Inside the sarcophagus, Napoleon first felt an intense sense of claustrophobia, but over time, a sense of relief washed over him as he became aware of two green, glowing silhouettes. They emitted a radiant light, their form vaguely human but indistinct, as though they were invisible sacks filled with mist. Bullseye's car took an amulet in its hands, and a jolt of energy rippled through the air around them. Did you know, Bonaparte, that upon death, pharaohs had to overcome numerous trials before reaching their final destination? No. Without his knowledge, Napoleon's transformation had already started. The beings explained that the Egyptian pyramid is a scale model of the afterlife. According to them, Thoth, following Osiris' orders, provided the plans for this remarkable machine of immortality to the kings of Egypt so that they could use it as a launch point for their journey into eternity. Here's a passage from Javier Sierra's book. One after another, everyone tried the sarcophagus, but no one felt comfortable in it. The last to lie down in it was Osiris, who immediately realized it was the perfect size. At that moment, Set sealed the coffin, threw it into the Nile, and drowned Osiris. This is the most dramatic moment of our past. Fortunately, Isis found him and resurrected him for the first time. Napoleon began to grasp the implications of the story. You lay down in the same chest, Bonaparte. The being continued. You discovered how it fits you, and like Osiris, you have died within it. The words sent a chill through Napoleon. Yes, Napoleon Bonaparte, you are dead, said the other car, speaking for the first time. You have ceased to exist, as Osiris did. You are now the energy, essence of who you were before. How else could you see in the dark? Why else would you feel as though you've traveled back in time and relived the key moments of your quest for eternal life in these past hours? This only happens to the dead. Napoleon murmured. Dead? He shook his head. Am I already dead? Your condition shouldn't disturb you so much, Napoleon. The Creator has given humans an immortal soul, which is their true essence. What has died is your body. Napoleon shuddered. Death, the second car continued, is nothing more than the shedding of a worn-out shell. It was given to you by the Creator so that you might appreciate matter, but your destiny, like that of all mortals, is to become God Himself. You will join a consciousness as vast as the universe, filled with infinite wisdom and love. Napoleon protested, insisting it was too soon and asking why this was happening now. The beings replied that time was an illusion and did not exist. They told him he could choose to return to the world of the living, but his essence would remain on Earth. Immediately, Napoleon asked, "If I decide not to return, do I have a choice?" According to the Egyptian Book of the Dead, any soul deemed pure and seeking eternal life could choose to return to the living or ascend to the stars and shine forever. Pay close attention to this next passage. "So I must choose my path?" Napoleon asked. "That's correct. And when must I choose?" "Now," answered the second entity. In that case, Napoleon's energy body quivered, emitting small green sparks. He hesitated. "In that case, I will return to the world of the living." The beings looked at him in surprise. "So you choose to resurrect the flesh as Osiris and Jesus did before you?" "Yes." "So be it, Sultan of the West. But remember, when your hour comes again, you will be judged anew. It will occur in another pyramid, and if you overcome that trial, you will choose your destiny once again." "I accept. I want to return. But know this, you are and always will be immortal. The great truth is that we all are. The only difference is that you now know it, while others do not." Napoleon emerged from the Great Pyramid of Giza on August 13, 1799, precisely at 6:30 in the morning. He was unaided. General Kleber, who first saw him, noted that the general was almost unrecognizable. Kleber approached to assist him and asked the question that many others would pose to Napoleon in private moments over the years to come. "General, how are you?" Napoleon gave the same response that he would repeat until his exile and the death on the island of St. Helena. "And let me tell you, you won't believe me." Just 10 days after this event, Napoleon left Egypt in secrecy, without protection. Witnesses claimed that he was extraordinarily fortunate, as the Mediterranean Sea did not swallow him, nor the English discover his escape. On September 28, 1799, Napoleon arrived in his hometown Ajaccio, and 11 days later he dropped anchor in Frejus, near the pyramid in Phalikon. But this Napoleon was no longer the same military general who had left France. After that night in the Great Pyramid, Napoleon never again felt fear, nor fear of death. He knew that when his time came, it would not be the end. The Great Pyramid of Giza is undoubtedly one of the most mystical and magical places on the planet. For many, the idea of spending a night among its massive stones sounds insane. But as mentioned earlier, Napoleon Bonaparte was not the only madman to dare to spend a night in the king's chamber. Over the years, many thrill-seekers have locked themselves inside the pyramid's tombs, seeking to experience the vibrations of the great pharaohs. Speaking of the Great Pyramid, I'll quote the words of the famous occultist and magician Aleister Crowley. "The king's chamber shone as if illuminated by the brightest tropical moon. The wretched, dirty yellow flame of the candle looked like blasphemy. In the morning, the strange astral light had completely disappeared, and the only sound that could be heard was the fluttering of bats." Other researchers have reported similar strange visions within the dark walls of the Great Pyramid. In 1930, British Theosophist and spiritualist Paul Brunton described eerie phenomena during his brief stay in the king's chamber. Visions of hostile beings, grotesque and demonic forms attacking him. What causes these mysterious experiences inside the pyramid? Could it be that the vibrations of the pharaohs are more than fiction and that some powerful energy truly resides within the Great Pyramid? Interestingly, the granite blocks inside the king's chamber are made from material capable of conducting electricity, primarily granite with a high concentration of quartz crystals, known for their piezoelectric properties. In fact, quartz is a component in nearly all modern electronic devices. The ancient builders of the pyramid likely understood these properties and may have used them in ways we cannot yet comprehend. The mysterious electromagnetic properties of the king's chamber have been scientifically proven. Visitors have reported receiving mild electric shocks while drinking from metal cups, and researchers have observed that camera batteries and other equipment inexplicably lose power while inside the pyramid. Could these electromagnetic anomalies explain the visions and mystical experiences reported by those who have spent time inside the Great Pyramid? Is it possible that these anomalies suggest the Great Pyramid of Giza is not a tomb, as mainstream scholars claim, but something much more, a machine of immortality? Another theory suggests that pyramid's geometric shape allows it to concentrate cosmic energy. This energy, among other things, is thought to preserve the body of the pharaoh placed precisely in the center of the structure. Curiously, none of the three pyramids at Giza contain mummies. Their tombs are entirely empty. This has led some researchers to believe that the pyramids were never intended as tombs, but as giant energy conduits. Could the vibrations of the pharaohs, as they're often called, represent a form of information encoded into the pyramid structure? If so, tuning into these frequencies might unlock ancient knowledge left behind by these great builders. This brings us to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, an ancient text that provides profound insights into universal truths. If you read the tablets carefully, again and again and again, you'll find much is hidden between the lines. Here is a little striking passage, a little demonstration. Know that always and everywhere in the cosmos there is eternal and infinite consciousness. Although hidden from superficial view, it still exists. The key to these higher worlds is within you. It can only be found within. Open the gates within yourself and you will live a real life. Man, you thought you were living, but know that your previous life only led to confusion. When we are attached to our body, there is no true life for you. Only a soul that has found freedom from the material world has real life. Do not think that a person is born for the earth. Although born on earth, man is essentially a light-like spirit. But without true knowledge, he can never find that freedom. My name is Stoyan Valkov, and this was another episode of Minds of Eternity. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching. As always, it has been a great honor and pleasure to share this knowledge with you. Cheers for now, and I'll see you in the next one.